Attention passionate Seattle, SEAHAWKS fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle, SEAHAWKS fans. Let's get to the news. Hey, Seahawks fans, strap in because the latest developments in the NFC West are stirring up some serious buzz. And I promise, this could be a pivotal moment for the team's season. As many of you know, the Seahawks have been navigating through a challenging start, especially with injuries piling up and the quest for consistency in key positions. But just when it seemed like the team might be on the back foot, a new move has come into focus that could potentially shift the tide in their favor. And yes, we're talking about the signing of a familiar face, Khalil Hebert, the former Chicago Bears running back, who's now joining the Seahawks practice squad. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Why bring in a running back so close to a crucial game against the Arizona Cardinals? Well, the Seahawks are clearly aware of their current situation. They've been hit hard by injuries, especially at the running back position, with Zach Charbonnet sidelined and Ken Walker battling through some health issues as well. The team's coaching staff, led by head coach Mike Macdonald, has been candid about the need for improvement, particularly in the rushing attack, which has been underwhelming so far this season. That's why the move to sign Hebert isn't just about filling a roster spot. It's a strategic step to inject some fresh energy into a unit that desperately needs it. And let's talk a little about Hebert himself. This guy isn't a newcomer to the league. He's got a solid track record, especially with the Bears in 2022, when he racked up 129 carries for 731 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns. That's a pretty impressive season for a player still trying to find his footing in this league. He's shown flashes of explosiveness and versatility, and at 27 years old, he's at that sweet spot where experience meets athleticism. Prior to signing with Seattle, Hebert spent some time with the Colts during training camp, but unfortunately, he didn't make the final roster cut in August. Still, the Seahawks see potential in him, enough to bring him onto their practice squad as they look to bolster their options at running back. You might wonder, what about the other options they considered? Well, the Seahawks actually brought in 3 different veterans for workouts: Brandon Bolden, Myles Gaskin, and of course, Hebert. They were trying out multiple options, testing which one fits best with the team's offensive scheme and current needs. It's a smart move, especially considering that Damian Martinez, the rookie who was showing promise early on, was released from the practice squad just days before the Week 3 victory over the Saints. That decision indicates that the coaching staff might be looking for a more experienced or versatile back to help stabilize the rushing game. And speaking of injuries, the situation with Zach Charbonnet is still uncertain. The young playmaker was sidelined for the Week 3 game against New Orleans due to a foot injury, and the Seahawks haven't provided much in terms of updates. This has fueled speculation that Charbonnet might miss more time, which makes the addition of Hebert even more critical. The team is clearly trying to cover all bases, ensuring they have enough depth at the position to compete effectively, especially with a division rival like the Cardinals looming in Week 4. Now, for those of you who follow the division closely, you already know that the NFC West is shaping up to be one of the most competitive divisions in football this year. All 4 teams, Seahawks, 49ers, Rams, and Cardinals, are sporting winning records early in the season. The Seahawks in particular are desperate to get their rushing attack going. Head coach Mike Macdonald's comments reflect the urgency. He's been quite frank about the fact that the rushing game is not good enough, and that it's far from what they envisioned during training camp and preseason. It's clear that the coaching staff is demanding more from their players, and this recent move to bring in Hebert, along with tryouts for Bolden and Gaskin, shows they're actively seeking solutions. It's also worth noting that the division standings are incredibly tight. Seattle is currently a 1-5-point underdog against Arizona in Week 4, according to FanDuel. That's a small spread, which means the game could go either way. But it's not just about winning that particular game, it's about setting a tone for the rest of the season. Beating the Cardinals would not only boost their record, but also send a message to the division that the Seahawks are serious contenders, even with the hurdles they've faced. Let's dive a little deeper into the team's overall outlook. The Seahawks have a roster full of talented players, but injuries have hampered their ability to perform at peak levels consistently. Ken Walker, who was expected to be a key piece in the rushing game, has been battling through health issues, which has put even more pressure on the remaining backs and the offensive line to step up. The coaching staff's focus now is on creating a more balanced and unpredictable offense. As McDonald pointed out in an interview, the rushing attack has to improve. It's not just about gaining yards. It's about setting up the play action, keeping defenses honest, and ultimately controlling the tempo of the game. When it comes to the bigger picture, the Seahawks are at a crossroads. They've shown resilience and grit through their early season struggles, but consistency remains the key. The addition of Khalil Hebert could be a game changer if he finds his rhythm quickly. His experience, combined with the potential return of Zach Charbonnet and the health of Ken Walker, could give Seattle a much-needed boost. Remember, this isn't just about one game, it's about establishing a sustainable identity on offense that can carry them deep into the playoffs. Of course, the division race adds another layer of excitement. The NFC West has always been a tough division, and this year is no different. The Rams are looking strong, the 49ers have a formidable defense and quarterback, and the Cardinals, well, they're playing spoiler with their own surprises. But the Seahawks, with their talented roster and strategic moves like bringing in Hebert, are positioning themselves to challenge all of that. The fans are eager, the players are motivated, and the coaching staff is determined to turn things around. Now, let's talk about the player himself, Khalil Hebert. This guy's career stats speak volumes. Over his time with the Bears and Bengals, he's amassed nearly 906 rushing yards and 9 rushing touchdowns on 400 carries. Not to mention, he's contributed with 312 receiving yards and 2 touchdown receptions. His last game for the Bengals on January 4th saw him rush 20 times for 69 yards and catch 7 passes for 14 yards against the Steelers. That kind of versatility is exactly what the Seahawks need right now. Someone who can step in and deliver in multiple facets of the game. This move also signals the team's willingness to adapt and be proactive. They're not just waiting around for injuries to improve, they're actively seeking solutions, trying different combinations, and testing new players. That's a sign of a coaching staff that's committed to winning and understands the importance of depth, especially in a division that's so fiercely contested. As we look ahead to the Week 4 matchup against the Cardinals, there's a lot of anticipation. The Seahawks will need to show more consistency in their rushing attack, as McDonald emphasized. It's about executing better, blocking more effectively, and finding ways to create running lanes. This game could be pivotal, not just for the standings but also for morale. A win would boost confidence, tighten their grip on the division, and set the tone for the rest of the season. And don't forget, fans, this is just the beginning. The NFL season is a marathon, not a sprint, and every move, every game counts. The Seahawks are showing they're willing to make bold decisions to stay competitive, even if that means bringing in a veteran like Khalil Hebert at the last minute. It's all about resilience, adaptability, and fighting for every inch on that field. The energy in Seattle is palpable, and the players know that their fans are behind them, cheering every step of the way. So, as we gear up for the upcoming game against the Cardinals, keep an eye on how the new addition performs, how the offensive line adapts, and how the team responds to the challenge. This could very well be the turning point we've all been waiting for, Seattle rising to the occasion, and showing that they're still a force to be reckoned with in the NFC West and beyond. Pause here, just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Seattle Seahawks news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Finally, I want to hear from you, the real fans. What do you think about this move? Are you excited about Khalil Herbert's arrival? Do you believe it will make a difference in the Seahawks' rushing game and overall performance? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the team. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Seahawks news, analysis, and insights. This season is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and with moves like these, the Seahawks are showing they're still in the fight. Thanks for sticking with me, and as always, go Seahawks.